Hi. In topic 1, you got an overview of the topic, the field of change, why it's important, and why businesses really need to understand how to implement successful change. In topic 2, we looked at different areas of businesses that often are lacking, that often are in need of change. Hopefully, while you wrote or read through this part of the course, you identified an area that you would like to focus on in your business, the business that is the focus of your change plan. You can pick any of the areas mentioned in this session or this topic, or you can pick another area if there's something else you'd like to focus your change plan on, as long as it has something to do with the internal operations of your business or management or something similar. Now, in topic 3, we will talk about the actual change. How do you actually make it all happen? And in this topic, if we click here, you will see a model called the Kurt Levin's change model. This is a very simple and very effective change model. I strongly urge you all to follow this model. It's a very good model, and you will automatically follow this model if you use the recommended headings for your assignment. Now, by all means, if you wish, you can use another change model. There's plenty of them out there, but this one here is both good and simple and very useful. So it's a good choice. Now, if you do choose to use this model, then you'll find that the actual change process comprise of 3 steps. The first step is unfreeze. Basically, you need to give people a good reason to go ahead with the change that you want to implement. People tend to be stuck in sort of like the old patterns, old traditions, old ways of doing things. And unless you give them a very good reason why they should go ahead and implement the changes that you are recommending, chances are that you will find a lot of resistance. You will find it hard to change things. So give people a good reason to change. Unfreeze. Now, topic 4, the next topic, we'll talk about ways in which you can accomplish this. But I'll just give you one example now. To unfreeze, you could, for example, call a staff meeting, get everyone together, and tell them the truth. Tell them why it is important that we go ahead with the change. This could, for example, be if you have for a rapidly falling sales. Sales are falling because we're doing something wrong, and that is why we need to change. If you communicate that to staff, chances are that they will understand the importance of actually going ahead with this change plan, and they'll be motivated to actually do what you recommend. That's one option. But there are many other options you can employ in order to unfreeze people and get them motivated, and you can read more about this in topic 4. When you have unfrozen, when you have identified ways in which you can convince people of the importance of this change, you then have to go ahead and actually write the change section. This is the biggest part of your report, and the change part of your report needs to be a very detailed step-by-step approach that it very clearly explain what needs to be done and by whom in order to make this change happen. The change should almost be like a recipe. If you follow a recipe to cook a meal, and if that recipe is clear and simple, step 1, do this, step 2, do that, step 3, do something else. If you follow such a recipe, then it's fairly easy to cook a meal. And you need to almost write the change plan in a similar fashion. Keep in mind that you're the change expert. You're the one who has actually studied change. You're the one who knows the theory behind it. And you are writing this change plan for management. You will hand this report over to management, who may not know a lot about how to implement successful change. You need to explain, almost like in the same format as a recipe, in clear and simple terms, what needs to be done and by who, step by step, so that they can implement the change, so that they can delegate tasks and make it all happen. That's really what you need to do for this change section. And it also is the biggest part of the report. You could potentially set it up as a timeline. You could explain that this change process should begin in, say, October 2015. And in October 2015, Jim and Bob needs to do this and that. In November 2015, explain what needs to be done and who should do it. In December 2015, again explain exactly what needs doing and who should do it. And on it goes. If you can write up your change section in such a way, then it'll be very easy for management to actually make it all happen. Finally, people have a tendency to fall back into their old patterns. Let's say that you are working for a sales organization, and in the past, in this sales organization, the focus has been on simply selling as much as possible. That's what all the sales staff really has focused on, optimizing sales. This is what they were paid for in the past. The more they sold, the more they would receive in pay. Now, let's say that you are changing this organization to one that cares a lot more about after-sales service, about loyalty, about customer feedback. Now, you have gone through with this change plan. You have written out exactly how you want the change to take place. Now, under refreeze, you need to make sure that your sales staff now do the new things that you want them to do. One way to ensure that that would happen could be to basically reward the new behaviors. So in the past, you paid staff to sell as much as possible, but since you now want staff to really provide good service, maybe that's what you need to reward them for, so that when they get good customer feedback, they get good pay. Or maybe a combination of sales and good customer feedback. But you can see how that would probably or most likely reinforce the new structures that you have put in place. So that's basically what this model is all about. So have a read through topic 4 to get some good ideas about both unfreeze and refreeze, and write out your change section.